All right, folks. I'm super excited to have my buddy Jason Simard here. You've probably seen us together also. I've said that a couple times today. We swap ideas constantly, help sharpen each other, grow our businesses, and then we get together with our buddy Brad on a podcast, and we've done some other stuff too. So we're going to go a direction today. Hopefully you haven't seen either of us on, but obviously Jason's a contributor to the book as well. You already knew that. We don't need to talk about the book here, but big picture of the book is that people mislead us. People say things, whether they deliberately lie or not, they're saying things about our business that are just not true. And I know that you share kind of my passion to point people in the right direction towards what is true. So anything in that category, big picture, what do you want to make sure people know either A, isn't true, or B, is true so that they can be successful?
Okay. Well, number one, this is not a part-time business. So anybody that tells you that you're going to drive an awesome car, you're going to make so much money, and that you're going to have all this time off is lying to you. Not in the beginning. And then it's going to take a lot of time and effort to get to a point where maybe you feel like you can take that kind of freedom. This is absolutely not a 9-to-5 job.
All right. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate for everybody's benefit. And just in case you don't know Jason, I made the mistake of assuming you all do. Jason runs an incredible business in Canada. He's in Nanaimo, which is kind of outside Vancouver Island area, right?
Yeah. It's on Vancouver Island. It's right central Vancouver Island.
On the island, but not in the big city. So got it. Okay, cool. So Jason runs his team in a really unique and compelling way. He's deeply invested in his people and his clients. It's so worth going out and finding out more about Jason and seeing all the free content he shares with people and the ways you could get in connection with him otherwise. But now you know. So number one for Jason there is this is not part-time. This is not 9-to-5. You're not going to start out with awesome cars and investment properties and be a big shot who doesn't actually work. And that is awesome. I totally agree. Now, let me push back on you, though, because you've been celebrated as a guy that did this really fast.
Yeah.
So I know that that's not in contradiction to what you just said, but I want you to explain to people, this is great news. It is true that you're not going to just start out being a big shot high roller unless you already are one. But it's also true that Jason has proven you don't have to wait 10 years or 20 years. So just real quick to expand on that, how do you reconcile those two things? It's not going to happen instantly, but it can happen relatively quickly.
Yeah. I mean, look, I've been doing this business for going on 3 years next month. Okay. I've achieved a pretty high level in the business. I believe there's a lot more that I have to bring to the table, and there's a lot more levels that I could reach. But people around me tell me that what I've done in a short amount of time is pretty awesome, but I don't really focus on that because honestly, it doesn't matter about me. It matters about my clients, the people that I surround myself with. But look, I don't have perfect balance in my life at this stage yet. I've been able to have more structure. I've been able to take more vacations in year 3 than I did in year 1 and 2. So it's something that I'm working towards. But the reality is I don't want anybody to think that you're going to just jump into this business and then working 20 hours a week, you're going to all of a sudden, have this amazing lifestyle and you make all this money. I personally don't see that happening if you want to achieve a very high level. Now, is there people that work 20, 30 hours a week and make a half decent income? Absolutely. And it all comes down to your goals, what you want out of your life. For me, like Todd, I wanted to build a business, not a real estate company, but an actual business that could generate income without me being in production. I'm not at that point yet, but I do believe that I could go on vacation and still continue to earn an income from the business that I've built. That is a very good feeling. I felt guilty the first time that I went on vacation and realized that I actually made more money on vacation than I did staying at home. That was a pretty humbling feeling. I almost felt guilty, like I was doing something wrong. And then I had to stop myself and say, wait, this is what you've risked everything for. This is why you've done everything that you have, is to be able to have that. But it doesn't come without sacrifice. I mean, there's baseball practices that I've missed. There's basketball games that I've missed. There's dinners with my family, bedtime tuck-ins. I mean, there's a lot that I've sacrificed to be able to fast track what maybe some people would do in a 20-year career in 3 years, right? I've probably done it at an unhealthy pace for most, but it's worked really well for me.
Yeah, and I'll unpack some of that for Jason because he'll put a little extra modesty in there, which is why we all like him. But number one, he did it. He worked really hard. I mean, he just told us all that, right? So like you didn't 20-hour weeks weren't an option. There were probably some 20-hour days. I've been there. Now, on the other hand, you didn't try to figure it out all on your own either. And that's a big chunk of how you did it so quickly, right? You immediately tapped into really great resources. Now, as soon as you began to learn, you're also sharing. And that's, again, why we asked you to contribute to the book, why you were willing, why we're doing things like this. So a couple of main points there. Number one, just brute force hard work and the willingness to consistently work hard. If you'll do that for 2 or 3 years, Jason's already starting to come out of the trenches. Now, he's not getting lazy, but he's starting to give himself permission and get around people that will say to him like, no, you're not doing anything wrong to get away. You're giving your team some room to grow. You're giving yourself room to mentally clear your head. You're investing in your family, which everyone that you work with wants you to do so that you can come back and do it for another 3 years, So some of the takeaways there are community and people that will challenge you and encourage you, hard work, learning from others, modeling, sharing, teaching, training. I take all of that from a simple answer to a fairly simple question. So hopefully other people are taking that out too. But my goal is to let Jason speak and just help you hear what I'm hearing, all the good nuggets that are coming out of there. So question 2, so that question was basically, what do people believe about the industry that's not true, or what's true that people need to know? And that's awesome. So question 2 is, if you were starting over right now, just some simple, doesn't have to be really simple, but actionable things people could take away from this. What would you do, or what would you tell someone to do who is starting from scratch right now to get going?
Okay, well, the number one thing that I think is important for any new person in a real estate business is to quickly identify what your strengths are, right? Self-awareness. You have to know that. So let's just assume that you are an amazing people person. You build rapport and trust better than anybody when it comes to being face-to-face. That is a critical piece that you need to be aware of. So what you're going to want, hey, Jackie, I'm just on a call right now. How you doing? Good. Just on a call for Todd's new book here.
It's all right. What's up, Jackie? I've heard good things.
Jackie's like my main man.
I'm waving. Hi.
So, I mean, it depends where you start at. Like for me, I had to immediately generate a lead source, multiple lead sources out of the gate so that I had opportunities to prospect, right? So without a lead source, it's really hard to get any momentum in this business. So your sphere of influence is critically important. Who are the people that you know and that trust you already? Start with that. Who are the people that you know, maybe are acquaintances that you went to high school with, people that you haven't touched base with for a long time? Those people, don't discount that. What are some of the groups that you like to be involved in? What are some of the activities that you do? Because there's people that you can meet through that. Todd's a religious man. He does a lot with his church, and he's doing a lot in the community. So there's a lot of people that are like-minded to Todd that he's connecting with. So that would be a great place to tap in. Who are the people that you know? So that would be the number one place. Doesn't cost any money, and it's just going to take some time to organize that into a database. The second thing is, for me, I knew with the crazy goals that I had that without an online lead source or something where I can get a high volume of leads, that I would not be able to achieve the goals that I had. So for me, I invested in things like SEO, pay-per-click, through my online lead generation website that I have through Real Geek. So that was going to be another lead source. And then I started spending money in areas like social media, putting together content. You don't have to spend money. You could shoot that on your iPhone nowadays. I mean, the quality of camera is so good. You can produce some good content that you can be putting out on social media that is going to go out to the people that I just mentioned, your friends, your family, people that know you from the past, and they're going to start seeing your content, and you're sort of building that top of mind piece. But really, buy yourself a headset, put it on, and then start dialing. Get on the phone and start connecting with people. Really important. You literally will get so much momentum from this device here by following up and providing value. Because I can tell you, every single person has a house. Now, they either rent it or they own it for the most part, right? Would you agree 99% of people either own or they rent? I'd say 50 to 55% of people in our community probably own a home. So there's a high percentage of people that are going to be transacting real estate at some point. So getting in front of those potential buyers and sellers is opportunity. Even if it's creating opportunity, maybe Todd isn't looking at buying a house right now, but Todd's looking at securing his future. Well, has Todd thought about the power of maybe leveraging an investment property to generate passive income? Maybe Todd's a first-time home buyer who's never bought a home before, didn't know how to do that. Well, maybe you could put on some easy seminars, or maybe you could just get in front of someone like Todd and teach and guide him on how to get into home ownership. The key is a lot of magic's going to happen with this tool right here. Just connecting and having conversations with people will get you a lot of momentum and give you confidence as you grow your business.
Let's throw in a random tip. What kind of headset do you use?
This is a Sennheiser. It's a Sennheiser. I bought it from 1-800-headsets.ca. That's nice. Where I got my headset from.
Very cool.
It works beautifully. It's a great tool, and it's a great activity to do. So if I was a brand new agent starting a new business right now, I'd have my CRM system, I'd have my lead generation tools coming in, and I would literally be on the phones, pounding that phone all day, spending as much time speaking to potential buyers and sellers and letting people know that I'm in the business of helping. And I'd come at it from a very genuine point of view where I'm looking to help you with any of your real estate goals.
Love it. Love it. Okay. Number 3, and you can take it quickly, or you can take as much time as you want, and then we'll unpack a few other things. But I have a belief that in our world of real estate and residential real estate, lead generation is no longer like the big hill to climb. Now you got to take care of it, but getting access to leads is not nearly as difficult as it once was. And because of that, if you want to, I think you can take a listing a week if you choose to. Now, obviously, we do some coaching and consulting, and I lead my team members with a big system for this. But if that was your goal right now, or you were helping someone and that was their goal, what would you tell someone to do so that they could also believe that they could go get a listing a week, or more if they want more, or less if they don't need that much, but to have the tool to be able to go get a listing a week?
What would I do? I would focus on those buyer leads. There's a lot of hidden sales opportunities there, so I wouldn't discount that. Number one, I would really put a lot of focus on that. I would focus on my sphere. I'd probably be out there calling for sale by owners. Why not? What do I have to lose? Maybe I would try and gain their trust, where maybe they'll let me run an open house for them, and I'll create an event and get people through the door, provide them value and feedback, and earn their trust through actions. So that might be a different angle that I would take with a for sale by owner. The key is you got to be out networking, right? You got to be having questions. I mean, you might want to circle prospect, right? So if somebody in your office has just sold a house in an area, it's an area that has reasonable turnover, well, it wouldn't be a bad idea to start calling that neighborhood, or maybe you could door knock that neighborhood and try and find opportunities. But think outside the box, realize that it's all action based. And if you took enough levels of action where you were contacting potential sellers, 10, 15 of them per day, I'm pretty confident you should be able to hit at least that one per week. So that wouldn't be a bad activity. And
I've been playing devil's advocate a lot. So if someone's listening to us right now and they're like, well, yeah, that sounds easy for you. You've already have all these systems and things. What would someone have to have in order to do that? If they were new or restarting or whatever, my belief is it's not as hard as people think, but I'd love to hear kind of how you feel about what it would. Now the discipline piece, and you've got to practice your skills, but what do I literally need to do that? How do you guys do stuff like that?
Well, I mean, a lot of our listings now are coming from the videos that we've consistently put out for the last 3 years. A lot of it comes out from the branding that we've done through the lifestyle videos in our listings, through our online leads. We have online seller leads. That'd be another good one that I would focus on, those home valuation leads that a lot of people might tell you are garbage. Well, we're probably doing about 20 to 24 sales per year just from that particular lead source. So I would be identifying lead sources. I mean, for sale by owners are perfect because they are on the market because they want to sell. And often they need to find out the reality of it is they don't have the reach through their marketing efforts as a for sale by owner to get the level of results that we can as a strong agent. So that's a good tool. Expireds might be a good one. In our marketplace, we're not allowed to call expireds, but for some people that could be a very good tool. Farming a consistent high turnover area over a period of time could be one of those areas. So there's many things that you could do. For me, what I've done that's been tried and true for us has been just the consistency with the videos that we put out, has been the consistency with our online lead generation sources like Google AdWords, Facebook, and then our referral business, really working that referral game and building, trying to really build value and trust and showing that we're a market leader. So that's worked for me. I would stick to 2 or 3 pillars I always talk about. I would pick 2 or 3 things that I'm going to focus on, and then I would execute on those really well. And if I can, I would put as much budget as I can behind those areas.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. And I think on the one hand, people that are watching, that may be frustrating to you because it doesn't sound all that complex. Like you want to know the secret. But the good news in the exact same information is that there doesn't have to be some brilliant secret. Jason put the headset on and said, put in the work, make the calls. Now it matters who you call, and you can call expireds or FSBOs or Circle Prospect. Those are just 3 of many, many, many ideas. But it's just my belief that that's available to you right now. When I got into the business, 03 and a little bit before that, even as an investor, it was nowhere near as easy to grab this data, sort it, sift it, automatically dial it, follow up. All the CRMs and things were much clunkier. You're building your own, all these things. But Jason started in the last 3 years and done incredible stuff. And I want people watching this to believe that they could do that also. Now, obviously there's some unique gifts and abilities you have, but they've got unique gifts and abilities too. So it doesn't have to be done the same way, but that's 1 or 2 or 3 ways that it could be done. And I just want people to know and believe that they can. We've got proprietary systems that we train our team and other people on. You've got your way of doing it. And by the way, I haven't mentioned a lot of the bonuses, but by now, if you're watching this, hopefully you probably already bought the book. It's cheap. You should buy it. One of the bonuses that Jason's sharing is some of the ways that they uniquely do this in his office with their company setup and the way he's built out a client care system that's different than a lot of ways other people do it. So you'll get that with the book and everything. And then that'll give you an opportunity to reach back out to Jason if you want to, or watch some of his other stuff or whatever. But any final thoughts on any of this at all?
Yeah, I mean, simplicity. Keep your business simple. Don't overcomplicate this. At the end of the day, you need a consistent lead source. You need to work that lead source. You need a pipeline, and that's it. Really, those are the things that will get you going in real estate. I know that sounds super simple, but it really is that simple. There's no magic pill that you can swallow that it's going to make you successful. It's going to be having those strong pillars, that foundation to your business. And I know we all have a foundation to our business. I know, Todd, you've got similar structures where you have different lead sources that generate returns on investments, right? And they have different results that they bring your business. And the key is you have consistency. So if one starts lagging, another one may pick up, and vice versa. If the market starts turning in one area, you'll pick up in another because you have multiple sources of leads coming in. And I think that's really as simple as I can keep it. It's just an action-based business. Really make sure that you're prospecting, doing the right things. And that starts with a consistent lead source. And then it follows up with, a pipeline. The pipeline is the stuff that you're working. How good are you putting your notes? What are the follow-up strategies you're using? Your conversation skills. And the better you get at those things, the more business you'll generate. It's just common sense.
Yeah. And I think the powerful word that Jason keeps repeating is consistency. There's probably a lot of people saying, well, I tried that. Well, that doesn't work here. It does work, and it will work. And you probably didn't try it long enough, and you probably didn't stay consistent. And there's the skill building side, but that comes with consistency. If you never hired a coach, if you never read a book, if you never practiced scripts and you just went at it enough and called enough people, did enough open houses, whatever strategy you're picking, you'll get better. Jim Rohn has a great quote. You can make up for in numbers what you lack in skill. But the little side benefit is your skill will increase because you'll bang your head against the wall enough and go, it's just easier this way. It works better this way. So if that's all you did is stay consistent, you would learn and grow. If you'll do that and then do what Jason did and model other gifted people and ask great questions, and then as soon as you learn, turn around and share and teach, you'll get into this relationship where people want to help you and you want to help other people and people want to work with you and hire you, and you can do something incredible. I can tell you, at 3 years, I was still struggling to figure it out. It took me much longer. So, we share a lot of the same mindset and commitments and efforts, but Jason has proven that it doesn't have to take forever. So anyway, love it, buddy. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your contribution, your willingness to share. And I like that you can provide that model for people that you don't have to struggle for a decade, but you've got to work hard and you've got to be committed. And I love that consistency was kind of that main piece. So let's keep 100%. It simple, be consistent. Awesome. Thanks for your time, buddy.
Todd's book's great, by the way. I've read it, got a copy myself, and highly recommend it. So if you haven't, make sure you do read the book. And if there's anything that I can do to help, I'm always an open book. And if you're looking for rocket science, don't call me. But if you're looking for simple, tried and true methods that will get you results, that's what I bring, and Todd, if it's any value, I do have some follow-up systems that our team uses with online leads that some people might be interested in. I'm happy to sort of send that out to you.
Cool. Yeah. We'll include that in the bonuses then. I was looking for it, but Jason's had a short interview specifically on the book content that's in the book. So if you've ordered the book, you've already got it. If not, you'll get it. Again, the book is cheap. All these bonuses we're offering you make it kind of a no-brainer. So thanks for your time, buddy. Really appreciate it. Talk to you very soon.
Thanks, Todd. Cheers.